We briefly covered update V72 for the Quest 3, 3S, and 2 back when it was in the public test channel, which is where you can try updates early before the final launch. But now with Quest update V72 hitting its final launch, we can talk about what features actually made it, what changes it's going to mean for your headsets. With a reminder, as always though, Meta rolls these updates out regionally or per headset or in some weird way where we don't always get all of the features from the update right away. I'm still waiting on the hide apps button from like update V68. So keep in mind, for some of you out there, this is talking about what's already on your headset right now, and for others, it's still going to be a preview until they actually drop it per person per headset. I hate how they do that, but anyways, update V72, probably the biggest feature is going to be hand tracking is getting updated. They even showed a video comparison that we can see here and even slow it down in parts to really show the stability, the response time, and even the latency are all supposed to be much better now with hand tracking. If you've used hand tracking in anything that requires you to play fast, you know your hands are moving much faster and pass through than the actual hands in the game are now. And that's going to make a big difference not only to gaming, but productivity or anyone that's using hand tracking for anything else on the headset. When you navigate menus on it, the way you pinch and drag is supposed to not only be more accurate, but it can actually allow acceleration, just like when you have your smartphone. If you swipe a little bit up and take your finger off, it'll keep rolling a little ways. Now you can do a really hard fast swipe and get through those 500 free games that you still aren't able to hide. A big improvement, but unfortunately, if you're like me, you're probably not using hand tracking super often or even all the time. I find most games that there's a controller option, the controllers are just better. As you'll see a theme with this update, it does feel like a lot of what Apple Vision Pro does better, Quest is trying to catch up on quickly, especially with a big new update that wasn't originally supposed to be rolled with V72, but had been talked about years ago about Windows integration working more seamlessly with the Quest. We'll talk about that in its own section because it is a bigger deal, but part of V72 that works in conjunction with that is the new keyboard cutout feature. Now, when you're in an immersive environment, you are supposed to be able to easily look down at your keyboard and pull it through mixed reality directly in so you can see exactly what you're typing, see what you're touching, and they're promising this is going to open up to a whole bevy of keyboards because before it was really just a few Bluetooth keyboards that could do this. Now, hopefully, anyone, anywhere, any keyboard who's using their headset with their PC integrated or even just a Bluetooth keyboard directly to the headset will be able to look. It'll cut right through immersive mode. You'll see your actual hands. You'll see your actual keyboard. And especially for people who don't use home row and actually type, well, now you can hunt and peck and see what you're doing. Kind of a random feature, just like WhatsApp has had integration. Now Instagram DMs are going to have direct integration into the Meta Quest. One more thing, if you're sharing headsets with people, you're going to have to worry about if it's linked up to that, but making it easy for people who are trying to connect through Instagram to play games together, be able to reach out to each other and be like, are you in the call? Does the game have in-game chat? I sound kind of bitter about the things that are wrong with the Quest, but I feel like the more you try to play multiplayer games in it, the more it reminds you that it's just not as seamless as it could be, and we all would like perfect Discord integration in everything. Another new app has showed up. We talked about Layout a while back that showed up suddenly. Now there is a media gallery app. This giving you that Apple Vision Pro style ability to just jump right into your immersive photos or view the other photos and videos you have on the headset. A similar layout and even the way it looks also reminiscent of Apple Vision Pro, but something that's making it easier for those of you out there who are using your headset for a lot of media. We're still in kind of a weird in-between stage where the UI was supposed to be updated a couple updates ago, and some people have the new, more familiar tablet style UI and others don't. Another thing that's making these rollouts just really fun for all of us. One of the cool things was we saw in CodeString something about live captions, and now it turns out these can be automatic call captions. So if you're someone who's making calls in your Quest directly and you want to be able to read what people are saying in case you're not hearing them, it will be able to do this live in calls. A good accessibility feature making it easier, but as other people pointed out, can they add translation to this with AI now too? It'd be really amazing to be able to hear someone speaking another language but see it in something you're more familiar or comfortable with reading. There were also updates to travel mode, now making it easier to use travel mode whether it's on a plane, a train, or in an automobile.
What the hell are you driving here?
We had a small fire last night, but we caught it in the nick of time.
But what people had seen with the new travel modes was when they used them, oftentimes you forget to turn them back on because there wasn't any sort of reminder that said, hey, you're still in travel mode. So now with this, it'll make it simpler. If you're noticing your headset's not tracking quite right and you just think it's glitching, then you'll realize, oh, I still have it in travel mode. I need to switch it back for regular tracking. They're talking about a more frictionless home experience. So when you put the headset on now, it always brings up that reminder, is your boundary right? For me personally, I change boundaries so often. I'm in different spots with the headset all the time, or the boundary's just messed up when I get back in, that I feel like this is going to add another step to me where I have to go into the menu and redo my boundary. But now it's trying to skip that, jump right into the headset and just give you a seamless experience that moves you faster. We'll see how that is in actual practice. And with all that, the Meta Quest blog announced this is the last update for 2024. Not surprising as the year is almost over, but sometimes it seems like we get these these updates every week for a while, and sometimes they're spaced out further. But there is more for those of you who are using it with a Windows PC that we'll talk about a little later. You might remember a Flat game that dropped back in 2021. Clone Drone in the Danger Zone has an overwhelmingly positive rating on Steam, and now today, right now, their next game is dropping for VR. Clone Drone in the Hyperdome is looking to bring that same kind of voxel action over with their classic 8-bit style art where you're sword fighting your way through a world of robots, and you're basically trying to fight your way all the way to the Hyperdome and face the captain there in a roguelike tournament that changes each time you play through it. And although the game has only been out for an hour, it seems like the hype may have been real. Already, it's a perfect 5-star rating, but people saying in the reviews they haven't even installed it yet, but they love the original, so they're super excited. Looks incredible, and the original was so amazing that they're trusting this is going to be even better than what they've seen already. This just came out right now, so if you're interested, there will be a link down in the description, the comments below that'll save you some money on it. The original Flat version has almost 30,000 overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam, so hopefully we're going to see that magic come over to VR. Thanks to them for sponsoring this week's news, and if you want to check it out, make sure you find that link to save you some money. Some news publications are highlighting the fact that we're still seeing sort of sales even after Black Friday on the Quest 3S. And when I say sort of sale, it's a lot like Black Friday. Right now, Amazon has the Quest 3S, only the 256GB model though, where you can pay the full price of $400, but you get a $30 Amazon store credit. Not nearly as good as Black Friday offered a $75 credit at Best Buy or Amazon or Target if you got from any of those retailers. And as you can see, even on the Quest 3S 128GB page, there is no area for that $30 credit. Personally, I already said there's really no reason to buy a Quest 3S 256GB. If you're willing to spend the extra $100 for that storage, I'd say spend $100 more or save up and get the actual Quest 3, or save your money and buy the 3S. That's $300. And especially because if you buy it through our link that Meta actually gave us, you'll get $60 in store credit. Although that's not something you can spend on Amazon on any accessories. That's $60 towards games, and that's way more than you're going to get here on Amazon. So if you're interested in getting a headset, you haven't already gotten your ones for Christmas, I'll leave some links down below with some details on what they'll get you in actual store credit or in savings. That way you can get yourself the best possible deal. But personally, I'd say either get yourself the 128s, get that $60 store credit, or if you buy the actual Quest 3 at $500, you get 512GB of storage, you get the way better pancake lenses the Quest 3 has, and you still get the $60 credit. And with any of the headsets, you still get Batman, Quest Plus trial. There are a bunch of little things that add up to save money, but you still have to put out the entire front cost on it. It's not like it's an actual discount off that price tag. Although I believe it was promised live with the CEO of Microsoft 2 years ago, or maybe even 3 years ago now, Windows 11 integration is finally out as an experimental feature. So this is called the Seamless Windows 11 integration, and still needs to be activated through experimental features, but now you can connect to and mirror your Windows 11 PC with a single tap after just looking at it. Also similar, like we said earlier in the video, to what Apple Vision was trying to do with their MacBooks. And this is a direct partnership with Microsoft that's making this happen. It just connects to the built-in Windows 11 remote desktop. And if this works correctly, you look at it, the PC screen actually turns off and is now replaced by a large virtual screen. The nice thing is you can spawn virtual screens, multiple of them, unlike the Apple Vision when it first started, you could only do one big screen, but these are limited to 1080p screens for now to help the headset be able to actually run 3 of them. Sadly, this feature is Quest 3 or 3S only, just like so many games and other things now, and you have to have Windows 11 on your PC, and you're gonna need a decent Wi-Fi network in the 5 or 6 gigahertz spectrum. So far, early reviews have said though, even though it's supposed to give you 3 screens, they had problems with all 3 screens working, and it seemed to work better with just 2 at a time, especially as they were using a Bluetooth mouse and keyboard, and you are required to download Microsoft's new Mixed Reality Link app as well on your PC. And of course, you gotta get the Windows app for Quest from the Meta Horizon store also. So it's clear why this is experimental for now, I feel like, because there is a lot of additional steps. But the idea of it is great. The simplicity of being able to just look at the computer you need, pull it up, and then especially as people brought up in the first place with the Apple Vision Pro, this allows you to take your laptop on an airplane, but if you're editing something sensitive or working on something sensitive, only your headset will see it and the screen will be dark in front of you. But that's a whole other world that you would need with some sort of local networking to be able to do this on the go. So my question to you, if you have tried this so far, how is it working for you? Do you still feel like virtual desktop is the better way to go, as people have been saying for a long time? I'm interested in testing it out more myself, but I do feel like the use with a laptop on the go is more important than necessarily using this at home when I have multiple monitors set up with most of my PCs. There are many awesome non-gaming uses for VR, and of course entertainment comes up a lot, but the problem is the lack of content out there, or at least quality content. Well, Meta's trying to fix fix that by partnering up with James Cameron, of course a gigantic name from the film industry with movies like Avatar, but basically they're going to partner together to bring more 3D video content over to the Quest. This even possibly being a way of the race heating up between headsets here. James Cameron has a new company, Lightstorm Vision, which wants to make stereoscopic technology as traditional as 2D. Meta's promising this is going to bring world-class 3D entertainment experiences, live sports, concerts, feature films, TV series, and big name IPs. Big name IPs always being the thing we're promised in VR forever, and we're seeing more than we ever have, but it still feels like we're so far behind traditional media. But as we saw Apple Vision Pro partnering up with Disney Plus, now it seems like Meta's responding with their own moves. I will say personally, I feel like more on the PSVR originally, there was music videos and there was other entertainment that I loved, and then when I came to Quest, it seemed like it exists, but you just have to search through so many different apps and stores to find it. I'm hoping that this will give one central hub, a place with really good stuff to show people or to enjoy watching yourself, because there were some amazing experiences that I got to have in the early days of VR like that, and when it comes to Quest, I don't always have one to just hand somebody and be like, hey, here's a really cool music video that was designed specifically for VR. So I have high hopes, but I don't think we're going to see anything from this too soon. But if we start getting these big names, for those of you who aren't using your headset for anything beyond gaming, would this tempt you to look more into the entertainment side? If there isn't going to be a Quest 3S under your tree, or even if there is and you're hoping for another, we still have some giveaways going on before the holidays end. We're giving away a 3, a 3S, and Bobo VR is partnered up to give away some of their accessories too. So if you haven't already entered in those giveaways, I'll leave some links down in the description, the comments down below. And on top of that, there's a bunch of others that are coming real close to ending with the holiday season. So I'll leave a link to a video where there was other ones that we highlighted. There's an RTX 4090 up for grabs. A lot of cool things going on with the holiday season. I know a lot of you out there appreciate a chance at winning something that you've been hoping for, or even one for another friend. There's actually been several winners who have won quests from us that ended up giving their headset to another friend just so they could play with them, which is really cool to see happening. So make sure and check that out down below. If you followed us over on Instagram, you've seen that we do travel quite a bit because of the channel. That's thanks to all of your support out there. Companies ask us to come see what they're working on ahead of time. Sometimes we get to help sway how those products will come out in the final to all of you out there to give you a better VR experience. One of the biggest trade shows is happening next month, CES. We've gone a couple years in a row, and we're going to be back there this year. If you're going to be there and you want to meet, make sure and hit me up on Discord. Or if you're a creator out there, there's a lot of creator events going on too. So feel free to reach out to me on Discord. There's even a creator specific Discord server that I can help get you in on. I know there's going to be a lot of big names there from the VR industry every year, and if you're going, you want to make sure you make it to those networking events, after parties, everything that's going on for VR specifically. There's a lot of other events throughout the year that are up in the air. I don't know if we'll go to GDC or AWE, but it seems like because of all of you out there, we are traveling the world all the time, and it's really amazing, so thank you. With that, we always try our best to keep you up to date here with the news and everything. It's been a very busy holiday season. We're looking to get back to more reviews for you too, for those accessories that you like, headsets and stuff, so watch out for those on the channel. But once again, thank you so much for being here with me. I'll see you in another reality.